Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins have made a significant change to their quarterback depth chart, introducing a new face as their number 2 signal caller. This move comes with more than just a change in roles. It also features a new number for the player, which stands out as quite unconventional in the world of professional football. Zach Wilson, the former New York Jets quarterback, is set to wear the number 0 for his time in Miami. This decision to adopt the number 0 is notable, as Wilson is only the second quarterback in NFL history to do so. The number has only recently become available as an option for players, with its introduction being a more recent shift in league policy. The first quarterback to wear this bold and unconventional digit was Marcus Mariota, who chose it during his time with Washington last season. Mariota, in turn, had selected the number 0 as a kind of statement, a personal reminder to himself that many people had written him off. He wanted the number to symbolize the doubt that surrounded his abilities, and to serve as motivation. Mariota's choice came in the second season, in which the NFL allowed players to select 0, which has since sparked some discussion about the significance of the number. As for Wilson, his decision to sport the same number as Mariota may lead to similar questions from the media and fans alike. It's inevitable that reporters will inquire about his reason for choosing 0, given its rarity and the symbolism it carries. But it's worth noting that this choice, while unconventional, might not be as big a deal as some make it out to be. The number 0 might be an outlier in a world dominated by traditional jersey digits, but it could also be a reflection of a new era in the NFL where players are more willing to express their individuality. Of course, it might also be a sign of something deeper. Perhaps Wilson is embracing a new chapter in his career, one where he's determined to prove that he can still succeed in the NFL, no matter the doubters or the circumstances. While the choice of number is certainly an interesting aspect of Wilson's arrival in Miami, the true focus should be on what comes next for him in his football career. The real question, which will likely persist as the season progresses, is whether Zach Wilson can overcome the obstacles that have hindered his progress so far. His time with the New York Jets, to put it mildly, has not gone as planned. Wilson entered the league with high expectations, but those expectations were quickly dashed as he struggled to establish himself as the quarterback the Jets envisioned him to be. His tenure in New York was marred by inconsistency, poor performances, and a lack of development. There were flashes of potential, but they were few and far between. Now, Wilson finds himself in a new environment, one that offers him a fresh start and a chance to rebuild his career. He's in Miami, a city where the Dolphins are hoping to establish themselves as contenders in the AFC, and where quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has already solidified his position as the starter. Wilson's role as the number 2 quarterback is not necessarily a glamorous one, but it could be just what he needs to regain his confidence and focus. Under the guidance of the Dolphins coaching staff and with the support of a strong team, Wilson has the opportunity to learn, grow, and develop into a player who can contribute to the success of the franchise. If he proves himself worthy of the job, he could even find himself starting games in the future. However, this scenario is not unfamiliar. There's a trend in recent years of quarterbacks who struggled with one team but then found success after moving on to another. The most notable example of this in recent memory is Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill, like Wilson, was drafted by the Miami Dolphins and had a rocky start to his career in South Beach. But after being traded to the Tennessee Titans, Tannehill flourished, transforming into a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback and leading the Titans to the playoffs on multiple occasions. Tannehill's success story has become a beacon of hope for quarterbacks who find themselves in similar situations. Players who are given a second chance to prove themselves elsewhere. In the case of Zach Wilson, the question will be whether he can follow in Tannehill's footsteps. Miami may not be the team that ultimately unlocks his full potential, but it could serve as the perfect stepping stone. If Wilson can show flashes of the talent that made him the number 2 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, he could parlay this opportunity into a successful second act in his career, whether with the Dolphins or with another team down the line. As it stands, the Dolphins have given Wilson the chance to prove himself, but the pressure is certainly on. He's not coming in as the starter, and he's not coming in as the face of the franchise. He's coming in as a backup, someone who will need to earn his spot and prove that he belongs. Miami is a team with high hopes for the future, and they're not going to wait around for Wilson to figure it out. If he doesn't make the most of his opportunity, he could quickly find himself relegated to a backup role for the rest of his career. The key for Wilson will be his ability to put the past behind him and focus on what lies ahead. There's no doubt that his time with the Jets has been a difficult chapter in his career, but this new chapter in Miami could be just what he needs. With the right mindset, a willingness to learn, and the right support system in place, Wilson has the potential to turn things around and become a reliable quarterback in the NFL. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure, the road ahead will not be easy. It will require hard work, dedication, and a willingness to embrace change. If Wilson can do that, he might just find the success he's been searching for. If not, the Dolphins will likely move on, just as the Jets did before them. Regardless of how things ultimately unfold for Wilson, his journey will serve as a cautionary tale for young quarterbacks entering the league. The pressure to succeed right away is immense, and the path to becoming a franchise quarterback is not always a smooth one. Some quarterbacks, like Tannehill, manage to find success after a difficult start, while others, like Wilson, struggle to meet expectations. In the end, it will be up to Wilson to decide which path he takes. Will he be the next quarterback to break through after a rocky start, or will his time in the NFL be defined by missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, his story is far from over, and for now, his future is in Miami. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? In a move that has taken the NFL by storm, Nick Bosa, one of the league's premier pass rushers, has signed a groundbreaking contract with the Miami Dolphins. This news has sent shockwaves through the football community, and for good reason. The Miami Dolphins, already an exciting team on the rise, have just added a game-changing talent to their defensive front, and the potential impact on both the franchise and the league at large cannot be overstated. Bosa, the 2022 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, has been a force to be reckoned with since entering the league. His relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, his ability to disrupt offenses, and his knack for making critical plays and clutch moments have made him one of the most sought-after defensive players in the NFL. So when news broke that Bosa was leaving the San Francisco 49ers to sign with the Dolphins, it left many wondering about the ripple effects of such a monumental move. For Miami, this is a statement signing. The Dolphins have made it clear that they are serious about building a championship caliber roster, and adding a player of Bosa's caliber is a huge step in that direction. With a defense already featuring emerging stars like Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins, Bosa's arrival provides an immediate boost. His ability to rush the passer with precision and consistency will likely take the Dolphins' defense to a whole new level. If Bosa can stay healthy and continue to play at his all-pro level, the Dolphins' defensive line could become one of the most feared in the NFL. The timing of the signing also raises some intriguing questions. While Miami has been a competitive team in recent years, particularly on offense with the explosive duo of Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, their defense has been somewhat of a weak link. With the addition of Bosa, however, the balance of the team shifts. Miami now has a legitimate superstar on defense to complement their high-flying offense. This creates the potential for a true contender, a team capable of making deep runs in the playoffs and perhaps even challenging for a Super Bowl title. But how does this affect the broader NFL landscape? The Dolphins have now positioned themselves as a serious threat in the AFC. While the AFC East has traditionally been dominated by the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, the Dolphins have been quietly building a strong team, and Bosa's signing could be the final piece they need to overtake their division rivals. With the Bills in a state of flux and the Patriots rebuilding, Miami now has a chance to establish itself as the class of the AFC East for the first time in many years. From a financial perspective, the contract Bosa signed is one of the richest deals for a defensive player in NFL history. This deal reflects not only Bosa's immense talent, but also the Dolphins' commitment to winning now. It also raises the bar for defensive contracts across the league, especially as teams look to secure their top defensive talents in a market that continues to evolve. Bosa's deal sets a precedent for other star pass rushers who may be seeking similar contracts in the coming seasons. Of course, there are always questions about a move like this. The pressure on Bosa to live up to such a massive contract will be immense. As one of the highest paid defensive players in the league, all eyes will be on him to perform at the level that earned him the Defensive Player of the Year award just a few seasons ago. Miami fans will be hoping that Bosa's arrival isn't just about making a splash in free agency, but about creating real tangible success on the field. It's also worth considering the effect Bosa's signing will have on the 49ers. Losing a player of Bosa's caliber is no small blow, especially given how crucial he was to their defensive identity. San Francisco will now have to find a way to fill the void left by one of the most dominant pass rushers in the game, while the 49ers have a strong roster and a top-tier coaching staff. Replacing Bosa's impact will be a tough challenge. As we move closer to the start of the season, this signing will undoubtedly be one of the most talked about storylines in the NFL. How quickly can Bosa integrate into the Dolphins' defense? How will Miami's other defensive players respond to having a superstar like Bosa on the field? Can Bosa help elevate the Dolphins to new heights and lead them into championship contention? The answers to these questions will shape not only the Dolphins' season, but also the future of the AFC. One thing is certain: the Dolphins are no longer just a team with potential. They are a team with a bona fide star on defense, and that changes everything. Bosa's impact goes beyond just his sack totals. It's about the pressure he puts on opposing quarterbacks, the attention he draws from offensive coordinators, and the way he opens up opportunities for his teammates. With Bosa on the field, the Dolphins' defense is no longer a liability. It's a strength that can turn the tide in crucial moments. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but Bosa's move to the Dolphins may be the biggest shock of them all. It's a reminder that in the world of professional football, anything can happen, and the balance of power can shift in an instant. With Bosa in Miami, the Dolphins are now a team to watch closely. The 2025 season just got a whole lot more interesting. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up!